Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Welcome back to the class number 23. So previous classes and all we had seen with the Tantra bill. What we had seen in the Tantra bill, the health app. What we had done in the health app, the three parts: water consumption, heart rate, and BMI. So using this, the health, how healthily we can keep our own body, the daily process we can just take it. That is the use of health app. So today we will do some activity with related to your app lab. What are we doing? So we have done so many activities, so many apps. The fresh thing which you will have to learn is functions. Okay? So before starting the class, let me tell you what is meaning of functions. So what is the use of function? Say for example now, you're doing one set of tasks. When you have to do again and again, I cannot say to the computer, do this again, do this again, do this again. It's tough for us. So in such kind, what we'll do, this set of codings we have already written inside one function, and whenever I want, I'll just call the name of the function. Okay. So today's example, what we are doing is we are trying to draw an square. So I'll write the codes to how to draw a square. But whenever I have to draw a square, it's not compulsory for me to write the same lines of code again and again. So for that, we'll be using functions. Let's go into it. How are we doing into it? Sharing my screen. We are supposed to go to App Lab. How are we going? Click on Create, and there you'll have an option called App Lab. In that, you can go and select. In the App Lab, as said, we have done so many applications. So just giving you a revision about it. We have two parts: code and design. What are we doing here? Let me run and show it to you. Finally, how the output should be up. When I say run, so this is the square image which is there. And here you can see the arrow key. So when I say right arrow, you can see this pen mark, the arrow mark is moving to the right side. If it is left, left, if it is up, down, wherever I want, I can. So next thing is I have to draw the square. How do I draw? I'll just simply click on the square button. Here, the square is drawn. It is in green color with this size. Say I want bigger square. So what do? I increase the slider. What a slider is where you can change the values just with dragging. Okay. So I'm increasing the slider to the maximum. Now what I do, I just move little up, little left. I'm clicking on square. You observe this? It has drawn me a bigger square with different colors. Say I want to draw a smaller square. Just going to more left side and drawing another square. Here, you see, it's an yellow small square just drawn. Again, if I draw something on top of it, another color is drawn. I want again bigger size. This. So what is happening here? Three different things. One is when I click on the square, a square is drawn according to the slider increase or decrease. The size is depending on the slider, and the arrow key which you can see can be moved in all the direction, left, right, up and down in the four directions using your arrow. And the last one is you have your random colors. Okay, so this is what it should be up. Now let's see how we are doing. So first when we have to create, with the design part. So what is design is in the screen one, I'm putting an image. How is it? I just take an image and place it over here. And how do I get the square? Is for this image, I'm giving a name. Say ID, I'm giving it as square. Since I have already used square, it is not allowing me to use the same name, so I've given one. You can give just square also. And then here, how do I change this image? Is nothing but for this image, you have a choose option. Click on this. In this, you can see the third option called icons. Click on icons. You'll have many icons. Since I need square, I just type it in the search as square. So square related images are here. So whichever you want, you can take. You can take this, this, anything is your wish. Okay. So say this one I had taken this. So let me take the, this. Okay. So for just an example. See, it has been changed. So when you do want, it's just deleting. Okay. Next, how is this arrow keys come up? So it should be nothing but, and again an image where you say for example, I have to do for the up arrow. I say up, and in the image, I say choose icons. In the search, I say up arrow. Okay, when I say up, I can see many options. So if I want this, I'll choose this. You see, it has been done. But if I don't want this bit, I can resize it by dragging and dropping. Okay. So this is how you put your all your four directions. So for the right, again, you'll take an image, choose it for the right one, and then do it. Okay. Let me delete this. So now you know how to put a square, all the four sides. Last one is with your slider. So what is the slider? Over here, you have another option called slider. You have to just drag and drop it. Okay. And for this, the major important thing is your value, minimum value, maximum value. What is this? Value is nothing but what should be the starting size of the drawing which will have to draw or to do something, the starting size. Okay. So the starting size, so when I say run over here and I click on a square, making a smaller size, do you see this? There is a small square which is drawn. So it is drawing from 50 pixels. Okay, not sorry, 50. It is 0 pixels. So here you can see the minimum value is 0. So it starts from 0 till each side. So when I draw square, each side is same size. So each side 100 pixel length it can draw. So maximum is how big you want to draw, minimum is how small you have to draw, and the value is nothing but uh, the size of it. So overall, the square size. Okay. so, so these three things are important for the slide. Okay. Now, once we are done, the design is done. If you want, you can put the color for the screen, the theme you can apply. Everything is yours. Since you are all aware of this, I'm not going inside deep to it. Let me see inside the code. So what is the major thing which has to happen here? When I click on this square, it has to draw to me. That's it. Nothing else more than that. So how is it drawing? So how is it drawing? First thing, when I say run, an arrow key is shown. You see this? An arrow key is shown. How do you show? When you have to draw something, when you have to show a pointer, everything comes under your turtle option. Turtle is for your drawing something. Okay. So when I have to display it on the screen, it is a show button. So what do I say? Show option. I just put it up. So this arrow key is key. Next, the coding is for your arrow keys. So what do I do for your arrow keys? When I press on up direction, the pointer has to go up. How is the pointer going up? So what is the logic behind it? Is nothing but over here you can observe it. See where is the pointer of my screen on the mobile simulator. Now the X position is 151. Y is 218. So when I have to go up, the X remains the same. It's only the Y which is decreasing. Do you see that? Y is actually decreasing as I go up. The X remains constant. It's only the Y which is decreasing. So it has come to 150 now. Why? It was 218. It has come to 150 when I go up. That means when I press on this up arrow, my Y position has to decrease. X will be constant. Y has to decrease. So on event is nothing but, and when I click on this, when I click on this up arrow, that is this button, the ID of it. So then I have to show the arrow key and pen up. What is the use of the pen up? Say for example now, I have a paper, okay? I have to draw something. So that means I have to keep the pencil on the paper and I have to draw. So it will be drawn. Say for example, I am at this point, but I have to go to this point, okay? So in such case, what should happen? I have to lift the pencil and move wherever I want and then again point it. Right? The same thing here. Pen up is nothing but I'm lifting the pencil from the paper and then I'm moving wherever is required. So it helps me not to draw a line. It will not draw a line, but it will move wherever I require. So I say pen up and then move. So what is move option? Or here you have a move option is to locate what is X and Y position. You see the X and Y position. Since X I am not changing. I'm not changing the X position. It's only the Y which will have to decrease when I go up. So each time when I click on this up arrow, I'm minusing by 10. Say now example over here is a point. What is the Y value? It's 192. So once I click on up arrow, so that means it has to go to 182. So this much. So I'm traveling this much up percent when I click on up arrow. The same thing now. It should be on vice versa. When I have to go down, so your y is increasing. So for the down arrow, your x remains constant, but y increases. So what happens to our left arrow now? The y remains constant here 215. It is the same 215 to 16. It's only the x which is changing. What is it changing? It is changing to the less. It is becoming less when you go to left. So over here, move option for the x, it is -10 and y remains constant. For the right, it should be +10 because your x increases as you go to the right side. I hope it is clear with the arrow keys. It's very important for us to understand the arrow keys because it's particularly on your movement. So why is this important? Something you have to draw or you have to move. You should be able to understand how is your x and y position changing. Okay. So this x and y position change up we had done even in our rocket launcher. Beyond you can just go and glance there. You would have seen how you increase. How does the rocket go up is because of your y position is decreasing. When the rocket comes down, it is nothing but the y position is increasing. The same concept is over here. Okay. Now coming up to the function. So how do you get a function? In functions, you have this one and this one. Please, for now, you can use the first one. What is the difference between this and this is nothing but you're passing a parameters in the second one. Since we are doing a simple function, we'll do this. We'll take this and give the name of the my function as draw square because I am writing the function to draw square. So to draw a square, what is the knowledge we should have? That is, all the sides are equal and the angle which you are turning for a square is 90 degrees. So what do? I have to, since it is four sides, I have to turn four times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Four times I am turning to the right direction. Next, move forward, get number from slider 1. So what do? As I said, the square size depends on your slider length value. So you have to get the number from the slider and that according to that number you are moving forward. So where is move forward? In your turtle. So pixels is nothing but the value how much you have to put. So what is the pixels? It is not definite. I cannot say 25 or 30. It depends on the slider. So I have to get the number from slider and move forward. So this creates a square for me. When I do complete 4 times move forward, 4 times turn right. So now I know how to draw a square. So whenever I want to draw a square, I just need to call the function name as draw. So when are we drawing a square is nothing but when I click on this square image. What do? On event, when the square is clicked, that is this one is clicked, pen down. Remember to put this pen down. What happened? We had used pen up for our arrow keys. So that means The pencil is not on the paper. Now you have to make sure the pencil is pointed on the paper so you can draw. So we have to say pen down and pen RGB. What is RGB? Red, green, and blue. Computer has these three primary colors: red, green, and blue. Only these three colors. But it mixes with the three colors to get variety of colors. So how does it mix? Is each color, that is red, green, and blue, each color has 0 to 256 colors. How many? Each color has 256 shades. So what do? I take pen RGB 3 1, right? First one is for red, second is for green, and third is for the blue. So for the red one, I mix the color from 0 to 255. The same thing with green and blue. What happens? Sometimes it may take this number may take 1, this may take 10, this may take 2. So when you combine with the shade of 0, 2, and 10, it gives one color. So that color will be drawn. The next time, because it is random, it will take another number. So it will be a different shade. So that is why you would have able to see different colors. Next, pen width is the thickness of the size which you are drawing. Here is what I am calling the function draw. How do I call? In the functions, you have this one calling the function. That means you are defining a function. Like how you define a variable, you define a function, and whenever you want, you're calling them. So what happened now? I have pointed the pencil on the paper. I have set some color for it. I have set the thickness of it. Next part is to draw a square for me. That's it. So I'm calling this function. So whenever the square is clicked, there is a square drawn. So one square is drawn. Again, you should remember to pen up because you have down here, you have to do up so that the pencil is up. And whenever you move, it is not. And we are using an hide. So why is important for a hide is this pen symbol which you can see is irritating whenever you see whenever if it is there on the screen, it doesn't look good. Once I say square, you cannot see that pen symbol. You see? It's not seen. So just to remove it using hide. Okay. So today what we have done is to see how you can move up and down, left and right, how to draw a square using your function square. Okay. Hope everyone has understood. Please practice it. And for the project, you have to do, I have shown how to draw a square. For the project, you have to do square, circle, and a triangle. Okay, square, circle, and a triangle. So these are the things which you will have to draw. I hope everyone has understood it. Okay. So if any doubts, you can surely come back. Okay then, see you in the next class. Hari Om. Bye.